watching news at Prime. Let's bring you this conversation now. Mpumalanga MEC for Community Safety, Jackie Masia, says the arrest of almost 500 suspected illegal migrants during Operation Valumgodi at a Barberton mine is a positive step in the government's effort to combat and prevent crime. Masia believes the unchecked movement of undocumented foreign nationals into the country poses a serious threat to community safety. Let's take a listen.
Do have a successful conviction, but the unfortunate part, when you are charged with with illegal Immigration Act and trespassing, it happened that you are deported to your country of origin. The challenge that you are having due to porous borderline, particularly on the side of Mpumalanga, hence you know that we are bordering Swaziland and also Mozambique and Zimbabwe. Then they are easy coming back. Then it means it's a circle that need to that the department need to attend to. We have escalated the matter to the National Department because the responsibility of managing the border, particularly the borderline, is Department of Public Works that need to fix that.
Well, staying with that story, police continue to closely monitor the mines in Barberton. Joining me for this conversation is mining engineer Dr. Adwoa Boaduo, who talks to us this evening. It's good to have you with us in studio. Let's start with why, in your opinion, we keep seeing pockets of this. The police came down very harsh on this illegal mining activity in the country some years back. But it continues, and look at the horrors it has produced in Stilfontein and, of course, more recently in Mpumalanga, although the Friday night issue or the Friday night raid was not, I haven't heard any reports of deaths there, but people still continue to risk their lives in this way anyway. What, in your view, makes them so determined to continue with this? So,
Cody, thank you for having me. And the first thing is the increase in the gold price. It has gone from about $2,500 per ounce to $3,200. It is becoming a bit more profitable to mine gold. So in a country where we know we have a high unemployment rate and we've got porous borders, and somehow South Africa continues to maintain the perception of being fruitful for immigrant mining labor, which stems from legislation that was passed in the 1970s, where we pulled immigrant labor to come and work on our mines. So we created a certain perception of the country. So it doesn't shock me that people from outside see the country as a pot of gold. Right. Even though now the reality is that large-scale mining is seemingly becoming a bit more uneconomic. So it's very capital intensive, large-scale underground mining, but it doesn't mean that small-scale mining is uneconomic. So you've got a recipe, you've got socio-economic issues, you've got people looking into the country, seeing that, okay, South Africa is very prosperous for gold. You've got an increasing gold price, and, with the surrounding local communities, you've got maybe people that were retrenched, people that were supposed to go back to their countries after retrenchment, and some of them stay. Yeah. Some of them come in through the border. So for me, it's all of these recipes, more especially the high gold price. We will keep on seeing this thing coming over and over. Last year, we saw a number. In less than a year, we're seeing another. I won't be surprised if we see more over the next few years, because it's just the nature of what we are in today.
The police will have you believe that they are stamping this out. But here we are, once again, talking about it because there were raids in a mine in Barberton. Why do you think preventative measures are so difficult to implement? Because what we are talking about is the police reacting to what is already happening. But what will it take to have preventative steps so that these people are blocked from going there in the first place?
Yeah. So firstly, I mean, the police are this is almost, in this mitigation, you almost don't really have a choice. but to help the mining companies and the government protect what remains of the mineral resources. But what's very important is legislation and the implementation of policies. There's a very nice small-scale mining policy, and it proposes a number of initiatives. I know that the government started a small-scale mining directorate. Yeah. My question is, where's the visibility and where does the techie hit the tar? What are they doing on the ground? Because if we don't work on preventing this, understanding the problem first, because I don't think we understand the full extent of the problem. Usually there's studies done. And in the history of the South African mining industry, we've done a good job in understanding what the problem is, and then putting in measures to resolve the problem in a way that benefits the South African economy and its people.
So you're saying the authorities in South Africa know and are aware, based on the very studies you talk about,
yes,
as to the extent of this problem. Let us in 2 sentences. I know time is of the essence here, but are you able to share with us what the extent of the problem is?
So I'm saying I don't think people understand the full extent. We might estimate and say there are 6,000 something derelict mines, and the fact remains, I don't think anybody can give you a figure and say we've got 100 and something thousand miners. There's not been a study.
Yeah.
So we are just, almost playing like whack-a-mole. As it comes up, we whack it. So the first thing is the understanding of the problem. We don't have a full understanding, in my opinion. And how do you even begin to solve a problem that you don't fully understand? Sure. And I also think it's in accepting the current reality of the situation. So I think we lack the understanding, the full understanding, and the acceptance of this is the reality we're in.
Artisanal mining is the policy you are making reference to. Minister Mantashe has told us on a number of occasions on this channel that there is a policy for small-scale mining, but the mining affected communities united in action, it's called MAKUA for short, they will tell you that this artisanal mining policy is not working and it needs enlargement so that it can encompass all of these people who are hungry and can do this and do it legally. What is the solution here? Is it to indeed, as MAKUA proposes, to expand this? Because Minister Mantashe then says that could pose problems for the future, I suppose, the longevity of the mining industry, because there's often this debate that is it a sunrise industry? Is it a sunset industry?
Okay, so I think first let's differentiate between the artisanal mining and small-scale mining.
All right.
The fact that these our small-scale or the illegal miners are using some sort of powered equipment, they're not using pick and fork. So it is small-scale mining. Now, with regards to the effectiveness of the policy, I've not really seen it being implemented. So how can we critique something that we have not seen implemented? With this PhD, I've read through the policy. I think it's a good policy. It's to the point, and I believe it's implementable. But I've not seen it being implemented. I hardly see it being spoken about. It's not a topic. Yeah. You see. So I do not disagree with the organization, but I say, how do we change something we have not even implemented? That's the first part.
So Minister Mantashe has got to almost give us examples of small-scale mining and where it is being put to action. Is that your argument?
Yes, he must give us examples of where he has implemented the policy, and if he has implemented it, what its impact has been, because I have not really seen that.
Okay, so let's conclude the conversation then, and I wanted to broaden it to outside the borders of South Africa, because we harp on this issue because it really does impede on South Africa getting its dues in terms of monies.
Yes.
The minister will tell you we're losing billions because of illegal mining activities.
Yeah.
But how is it only South Africa that faces this problem? I'm thinking of a country like Zimbabwe, which also was big on mining, And I think it still is, because I had a representative from ZANU-PF seated exactly where you are last week on this very day, and he was punting the issue of mining. How widespread do you think this issue is outside of South Africa?
Well, colleague, my PhD thesis, I did a comparative analysis of the small-scale mining industry in the various countries on the continent and in Brazil. And it's a widespread problem in every mineral resource-rich African country. Now, the thing we need to learn as South Africa is we've seen the worst that can happen. And that's where small-scale mining becomes politicized to a point where there's no space for technical people to come and help resolve the problem. So do we want to go down that road? Because it's really a fast-moving train downhill. Once it goes, it becomes extremely difficult to stop it. So it's a widespread problem on the African continent. We see what's happening in the DRC. We see what is happening in Ghana with its water bodies. We even see what is happening in Zimbabwe. You see, so where there's a high-value mineral and an issue with economic development or socio-economic issues, this automatically will emerge. So for me, it's a widespread problem. The best we can do as a country is learn from the neighboring countries and know what we should not do.
Yeah.
But at this stage, it looks like we are going down the same path as other countries that fail to manage, but we can still nip it in the bud, and we can still turn it around, and we can show the rest of the world how to manage small-scale mining in a way that benefits the economy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adwoa Boaduo, thank you very much for educating us tonight on this perennial issue of illegal mining in South Africa. And perhaps the authorities will rest a little bit easier knowing that they're not the only ones facing this problem. It is widespread, even to their neighbors. Adwoa Boaduo is a mining engineer. All right.